This world of YouTube, I am back again tonight to do a couple more poems. Now these two poems are going to be different than any other poem you will listen to on any of my videos. These are two more poems written from jail, and I would like to put a warning advisory right now that if you are very sensitive to violence or do not understand violence, chaos, or anything indestructible or destructible, anything destructible, I mean, this is not for you. End video now, and thank you for trying to watch. These are very graphic, very terrifying. You might look at me as some demented fool after this, but I guarantee that I wrote these poems only to be in an educational spot and to make people wake up to reality from whatever their addiction is. One of them is an addiction poem. The other one, due to it being graphic violence, is to all very serious sex offenders, perverts, that I do not like. And I put them together because while I was in jail, you know, stuff like this I think needs to be heard. And it's only to the people that have committed crimes or whatever and did the wrong things, but maybe in more or less the addiction poems to people like me or whatever. But I didn't, any of this in this poem I did not do. I am very grateful of a 17-year addiction of alcohol. I didn't kill anyone in a car accident, nor did I kill myself or family members or done something very brutal to where my alcoholism brought me to a death sentence or life imprisonment. Like I say, these two poems are very graphic in detail. And the only reason why I want to share them is because if you know someone of an addiction, just set this aside from the other one. If you know someone with an addiction, say like I would say Lindsay Lohan or Robert Downey Jr. when they ended up where she's like in 2 liters a bottle of vodka to herself, and Robert Downey Jr. was into all kinds of crazy drugs after doing that movie he was in. I forget the name of it, but there's two perfect examples of people, or even Charlie Sheen. If people were blinded by drugs, and everything around them, if you know someone that uses drugs, is isolated and reality does not exist. That's why I wrote this poem for what if your addiction made you do this. And I'm not trying to preach to people or tell them, hey, you shouldn't do stuff like this, or I just maybe they could relate to it and say, wow, I did that to someone, and oof, it sounds kind of spooky coming out of another person, that just literally is just writing it and never done it himself, But it's like people like me that wake up the reality out of my 17-year drinking and sitting in jail for a year sober. I mean, yeah, this poured out of me. It's just something that needs to be said, something that needs to be viewed as right, because stuff like this, to me, needs to stop. It's stupid, and every day on the news you hear of something new. Something new comes out every day, of course, and it's disgusting. It's sick. And I mean, just because I can relate to these people's level and know what they're thinking, I thought I could put this in a poem, read it, but I never did get to read it because people said if you do that, you'll probably end up in Bridgewater, Mass. So I set it aside from the place that I was in, and I really wanted to do it, but I'm gonna do it here now, and really, to all the perverts, you people need to be set on your own island somewhere, somehow, off this planet. If they're not gonna execute you, they need to be rid of you somewhere. And I mean, it's just every day is something new. Child molester, child beater. It's disgusting. When's this innocent kids, fragile eggshell minds destroyed? And every day I keep hearing something of it, like the 2 people now getting caught in Florida. I ain't mentioning no names. I'm not getting any more of this into that story than I have to, but where's the kid in the hospital fighting for his life? And it's sick. But I'm gonna get on with these poems, and like I say, they are very graphic. If you have made it this far in the video and you are not into this stuff, you might want to leave. But other than that, if you are very interested in it and want to know what I say, and it is, like I say, it is a wake-up call poem. There's nothing that I want to do or would do, and it's educational. It's just to bring forth the people that maybe one day that they're so that if they were able to get this video, be like, wow, like, oh, I did that, and I don't know, really. And before they hit the prison system, or before they get caught to go to jail, maybe this will stop somebody. Maybe it'll get them to think, wow, this guy knows a lot. And hey, I mean, it's why I love writing. So I can put down on paper the words and speak people's language and teach. And I don't want to be a preacher teacher, but only in the end, hey, I want to help to make this world just a better place to live. And hey, if I can do it here, shit. If I can do it with poems like this, it's even better. But like I say, sometimes I scare myself, alright, when I come out with stuff like this, but like I say, it needs to be known. People need to be woken up to reality, not sit in a drug-infested world and isolate yourself from the harms of what you could do to someone being on a drug. Like I said, I'm fortunate I didn't kill nobody, did anything stupid. There was a lot of many nights of blackouts I had. But moving on, and I mean, I am skeptical of this, but hey, these words and what I put towards the people that do it, and to show them one day that, hey, wake up, buddy, and smell the coffee, and you know what, change your ways, do something, or just get out of town. Or these people that do stuff like this, just go kill themselves. Not people, go kill yourselves. You're like that miserable, take a gun to your head, go say hang yourself, or do something. This is just disgusting. So anyways, let's get on with this, and it's, what if your addiction made you do this? I sit here and stare at these 4 walls. Then one thing I want to say is, yeah, this is someone that's in jail, of course, but it explains what they do. I'm saying it like me, I, and they did this, but like I said, I'm explaining it, and it wakes up to reality in the end, and you'll understand it, but very graphic. So I sit here and stare at these 4 walls, then I get up for a walk to go out and stalk the demonic energy that charges my brain. The hate I feel gets me rowdy and wanting to be insane. I feel wicked. I want to spill blood. Want to drown some bitch in the mud. Don't give a fuck. Give me a gun. I'll shoot you dead. Then I'll start to poke things through the hole in your head. Give me a knife. I'll cut your throat. Bring you out to sea. Throw you off a boat. Then I'll shave your body bald and skin you like a cow. Then degut you like a pig. I show no mercy. I feel no sorrow. I'm taking your life. Say goodbye to tomorrow. I'll tie dynamite to you. Watch you explode. Tie you to my truck and watch a funny episode. Ha 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 ha, as I laugh in your face. Shut the fuck up. Screaming like a little girl. Smack you around until your brain dead and drool. I'll make you eat shit. I'll make you eat a corpse. I'll stick firecrackers in your ears. I'll stick them in your nose. I'll hang you by your neck with a rubber hose. I'll wrap you with barbed wire. Then nail your prick to a tree stump. Then douse it with gas and set it afire. I'll tie you to a chair and rape your beautiful lady. Then you can watch her swallow my special gravy. Ha 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 ha, welcome to my nightmare, as I bash your head with a rock. Put your head in a vice till the handle won't move. I'll steal your grandmother's loot and kick her off a rocker and give her the boot. Drive drunk off my ass, don't care who's in my path. Just give me my choice of addiction and watch me go on my wrath. And when I'm done and doing what my addiction told me to do, I wake up in jail praying I get bail and wishing the judge will forgive me too. I sit in my cell, changing my addiction self, trying to look very sorry. But when the time comes and the judge says his words, get out of my sight, you feel all the eyes upon you, the scumbag you are, doing all those things, not giving a shit, just worried when you're going to get your next hit. So while you're sitting in jail, or if you're still roaming the street, keep it in mind. Don't let your addiction get the best of you, because you'll finally wind up in jail and get a dick up your ass, or if you're a woman, you'll get a pussy in your face, or you can take a dirt nap in a necropolis place. Think about it. Now, yes, very graphic details, but like I say, the person in the end wakes up, and you know how many people come out with, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it, and you watch these criminals on TV crying, or some emotionalists and don't care. And I mean, there's so many people out there, like the guy who blew up, shot that woman, the astronaut's wife, in the face. I mean, people like him are out there, and I mean, it's just, there it is, a poem about it. Some people might wake up to it. Some people might look at this and say, whoa, maybe I should, you know, you want to take your dirt nap, or you want to go to jail, so be it. I mean, some people don't give a shit. But, I mean, I figured to try and help out a little bit in this program I was in, writing a poem. But like I said, hey, people saying, oh, enough Bridgewater for that. Well, I wouldn't do that to nobody. I wrote it. Yeah, just to bring reality to an AA meeting. That's what it was to be, but I don't know, I got talked out of it or whatnot, and I ain't even trying to ask the counselor, but whatever. Like I said, hey, if it helps somebody, you know, thinking of the dirt nap, thinking of being in jail all your life, and I got a jail story up on this, on YouTube, and if you can sit there in a room, or even in a building with all kinds of men shitting their asses and farting up a storm, then you're more of a man than me, because that time in jail for me, boy, yeah, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. No way. So anyways, I mean, this next poem, of course, is due to what jail could do to your mind if you were bunked with a pervert. If I was bunked with a pervert, I mean, this is more or less a poem of what I would like to do, but you can't because you go to jail with them. But yeah, I mean, I would like them to see what I would do to them due to the fact that, yeah, I don't like them. It's pretty much a poem towards them. Something that, you know, I think in a poem, in writing, if you write it out on paper, it's better than trying to do it, because you get all your emotions out, you get all your feelings out on the paper. It's better that way. And like that poem there, I mean, that was just, like I said, to help out, if it would help out. But this one is just something I wrote because I don't like you perverts. I don't like none of you. And I know that the jail rules are, if you get bumped up with a pervert in your room, you gotta take him out, or you get taken out with him. But I mean, just to put it on a paper, like I said, and do it on paper, it makes me feel better than doing it, of course, because yeah, I don't want to end up in jail for the rest of my life. But I mean, I'm sure anybody though with a pervert or a child beater will think the same thing I think in this poem. So more and more time I'm confined to my room, the more I sit here, my mind is doomed to sit here and think of maybe a pervert has been placed in my room, has me enraged, and can only say one thing to cut it off, and to put his balls in a sling. I'll stick a crochet needle in their piss hole. I'll cut off a bunch of cow cocks and make them eat them out of a bowl. I'll put them in a cage full of skunks and let them piss on them till they pass out. I'll tie them up doggy style and let the meanest homos rape them raw. I'll bring them to the highest mountain and watch them fall. What a laugh I get when I watch them gargle on their blood from their slit throat. I'll shove their face into the ass of a goat. Let it shit and piss on them while each of them eat it up. Then when they're done, I'll put their cocks in a hot water cup. These are the things I think of if I was to be bunked with a pervert, to bring nothing but pain and to listen to them scream it hurts. I just hope I don't get bunked up with one of these pieces of shit, because they'll get the true meaning of someone who's insane. So yeah. I mean, listen to them get hurt, listen to them go through pain. I mean, it's only the truth. I speak the truth on how I feel about things that are serious like this. Just like trying to help other people with addictions. I'm not gonna cram God down their throat. I'm not gonna cram AA meeting down their throat. The best thing I think is to bring reality up to someone's face and let them deal with it. Because when they're isolated in their drug and addiction, or like perverts, they're isolated and getting that next fix on a kid. And I'll tell you something right now, a little lesson learned in life. When a pervert goes in jail, a pervert does not get better. And if an alcoholic or a drug user goes in jail, they can get the help to get better. The perverts don't get help because they're in there with other perverts. And you know what other perverts do? They talk about what they did to kids. So they're not getting better. They can go into meetings all day and say, hey, yeah, I want to get out. Yeah, they do their meetings and do the things they need to do to make it better. But after going in there and rambling on with another man in their room, and I never been into that situation, but you gotta have common sense. Like I say, if you want to catch a criminal, you gotta think like a criminal. And to catch these perverts these days, they should be thinking like one, and putting them in jail with another man bunked in with them is the right thing to do, because they get out, they're more enraged, they're more thinking of it because they just talked about it with another guy. You can't deny what they're doing in there. And like I say, when I was in there with other alcoholics, all we did was talk about drinking and partying when we get out. So, I, though, stepped forward and took my alcoholism and found my higher power in my kids, which at the time I had one, and one was born. So I had to do something. But everybody else, I don't know where they are now. I haven't talked to them. I tried keeping in touch with some of them, and they wanted me to call them and keep in touch because they like how I, help them and stuff like this. And there were people in there, yeah, they said I'd go to Bridgewater for this poem or this poem, but if you think about it, some of them, looked up to me. One of in my jail thing, I did get a standing ovation for talking about, you guys want to stay in there with dirty asses all your life, go right ahead. I want to be out there with my woman. I want to be out there with my kids. I want to be out there enjoying life, not getting worried about bombed, at the time of 9/11 and getting blown up in a fucking jail cell with all you dirty ass men, If anything in jail that's a nightmare, is not what is a dirty ass. I mean, get real. It's nightmares in there with that, and this is something that I did to bypass anything like it, and it's gotta be known. People like this can get help, and let the perverts know that, hey, watch your back. See, they can get help too. Watch your back. You go in the population, boy, you're wiped out. So, maybe it's one day if they, if the jail would smarten up and put them in population, maybe they get a little can of whoop ass that they deserve, or maybe they just get sent away and killed like these kids. Fuck it, I say it. Fuck it. Let them die. Let them die like the kid did. Slow, brutal death, or slow rape, traumatized for life. It's stuff like this that makes me write stuff like this, just to get my point across. I mean, you don't think, you're not sitting in that person's shoes that is getting the abuse. So, in one poem, in these poems I try and help. And in this one, the pervert poem, I'm trying to help them that if you go in jail or you get caught, hey, whatever, get your ass whooped, boy, because you're going to take a beating of your life for that. But, other than that, I hope I didn't scare nobody. I mean, this is just stuff I write down on paper to make reality, you know, be seen if you're not seeing it. I mean, there are ignorant people out there, if you think about it, that don't look into the underground world as much as they're supposed to. That's why a lot of kids get abducted, because they're not familiar with the underground world. They're not familiar with this. And if you got someone like me on both sides, but me to the underground world, you know, if there's a pervert, jailhouse rules. That's all I got to say. If there's another addiction person, I throw out my stuff to them. I try and help them out. If they don't want the help, they don't take it, there's nothing I can do about it. If they die the next day, there's nothing I can do about it. You can't force someone to do something. They gotta find that on their own. But I try and help. In this poem, one poem I try and help, the other one, well, it was just that demented and sick, I had to throw it in with that one, but I'm sure we can all relate on perverts. And of course, child abusers, which one of my stories or videos all consist of that, of missing for 31 years. So, if anything, I like trying to put fear into the ones that make us have to live with fear. But, I don't know. Until the next video, YouTube, I explain my poems, and hope you enjoyed them as much as detailed they are. But like I say, sometimes if I can help somebody in good ways, scare someone out of other ways to help, then hey, there you go. It's all self-help. What can you do? You gotta do something. Because, pretty much jail ain't doing nothing for these people. They just come back out used, they just come back out and rape again. Someone's gotta put something down besides, hey, you get a sentence for 2, 3, 4 years and then you get out, whatever. Until then, YouTube, see you on the next video. Big salute. See you.